Hello, this is episode 2 of Snapdragon Duplex. It's the 5th of January 2021, so fuck 2020 forever. We are your hosts, the Monkey Man, Mikey Mac, and with me is the King of Cam, Randy Phill. How you doing, Randy?
I'm good, Mikey. How's yourself, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. A bit fucking...
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, mate. Happy New Year. Did you have a good one?
Yeah, mate. Quiet one. How about yourself?
Aye, same. Just got smashed on Zoom doing games and quizzes and shit. Just the
Hi,
usual.
good New Year.
Yeah, pretty much, aye. Looking like it's going to last for a while now as well, so have to make some more quizzes.
More quizzes, more podcasts.
Yeah, not too right. At least wrestling's still going.
Yeah, that's the thing. Happy there.
Yeah. So, Dynamite, what'd you make of the show overall?
I thought it was a really good show. Good what they've put together, and it was just like a good night for Brodie, for remembering him and like respecting his legacy and what he's left behind and what he's done for the company overall, and like wrestling in general as well.
No, I was absolutely impressed by just the scope of it. Like, I think usually WWE are really good. Like, they're bad at a lot of things, but they're really good at video packages when someone dies. And so usually, them putting a 3-minute video package together is insane, and they're always amazing. But to last minute to make an entire show for him and the video package is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed by it. So the show opened with traditional ringing of the bells. The whole roster standing on the stage. I don't know about you, but I was actually really impressed by the absolute size of the roster. I've forgotten how many people they actually have on the roster. It's almost like a WWE roster.
Yeah, it was massive.
It's huge.
And that's only like the people that they've got on the main show. I don't think there was many people from like the dark stuff there and like behind the scenes and all of that. So it's massive, bigger than what you expect as well.
I know. It's but yeah, it was incredibly sad. I noticed that Miro was absolutely sobbing, and it was just hard to hold back tears, man, just watching that. But
yeah, emotional.
Yeah, incredibly sad start to an incredibly sad show. Yeah. After that, I think it was it John Moxley's promo package after that?
Yeah, they went straight into like a wee video package of John Moxley talking about Brodie and his advice for him being a father and all of that stuff. That was pretty emotional stuff as well.
Yeah. I found with all the promo packages over the full thing, you kind of got the impression that he was a dad first and a wrestler second.
Yeah.
The other impression I got off the Moxley thing is that we probably won't be seeing him on AEW for a while.
They did advertise him for coming next week, but I don't know if that's just going to be another promo. I doubt they'll put him in a match or anything. I don't know if he's maybe got an injury of some sort that they're trying to keep quiet for now.
Well, I don't know if you saw... Did you see any of Wrestle Kingdom?
I just saw a couple of highlights here and there, and I saw that he'd done another promo on that, didn't he?
Yeah, so he's still the US champ for New Japan, and he cut a video promo quite similar to the one he did there, basically saying the winner of the next match will be facing me for the belt. I'm coming back, basically, as soon as travel permits. So I don't know if that's his next step, if that's the next plan for him, is to go back to New Japan for a bit.
They've just announced that they're coming up with a US and UK TV deal, so I don't know if they're maybe going to use him for promoting that.
So do you think he'll be the face of the US show? Or?
Might be. I think they just released... No, they didn't release somebody. That was Ring of Honor. But yeah, I think they'll probably use him going forward to try and get him for the US market or US TV to promote it there.
Yeah. On that, Ring of Honor released Marty Scurll. I think that's who you're talking about.
Marty Scurll, yeah. Because he's fucking tight with the Elite, isn't he? Was he not rumoured to be going to All Elite when it was first kicking off? Or
he was one of the big dudes in the Bullet Club. So he was like good mates with them all. And I think he just had a bit left on his contract with New Japan or something. But obviously that'll all be shit can now, considering he is caught up in all the Me Too stuff. Or the whatever they called it. But so after that, I think it was it Matt Hardy and Private Party versus the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, that was it. Young Bucks and Colt Cabana against Matt Hardy in the private party.
What were your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I like the way that they're trying to take Matt Hardy, like he's mentoring the private party, but he's starting to show a bit of sneaky side, he's starting to get a bit heelish with it when it was towards the end of it, when it was thinking about the chair, and they kind of knocked him back with it, like, nah, we're not going there yet.
Yeah, I've got that written down as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of good spots in the match as well, and you love Colt Cabana, don't you? You're a Colt Cabana guy.
Oh, I'm a Colt. Me and Colt go way back. As in, I met him once at ICW. But yeah, no, I like.
Is that when he was doing the run with Grado?
Yeah, that's right. Hi, they were doing the Iron Jew thing.
Colt Cabana, it's yourself.
So yeah, I've got a photo with Colt Cabana back when I was skinny, and I keep showing it to Ross because Ross doesn't like him, and I keep going like, you can't talk about that. That's my mate. I'm still not 100% sold on Colt Cabana. I think he's just there to tease Punk to come back again. Do you think they're mates again? After, because did CM Punk not sue him?
I can't remember who sued who. One of them went for the other. It probably was Punk going after Cabana, just for the sake of argument. But I don't think they're on talking terms anyway. But Punk always says he'll come back to wrestling if he gets good money and he gets a good story. And you could easily write a good story between they two and just fucking throw money at him and you'll be sorted.
Well, I would love that, I'm not going to lie. So what were your favourite spots in the Young Bucks match then?
I liked the bit like with the chair, and then see the big finish with the Indie Taker and the Superman pin.
Yeah.
It just went so smooth. That was a good finish, but in between, not really sure. I've not got any notes in between. Have you got anything?
I had the Superman pin down as well. I absolutely loved the Superman pin. I've got a couple of things. The only thing I've got spot-wise, I've got Nick Jackson did a cartwheel through the ropes and then did a moonsault off their apron onto Matt Hardy. Then he looked into the camera and shouted, "That's for you, Brodie," and I really liked that. I thought that was one of the spots of the night for me. The only thing I've got down is that I absolutely love the Young Bucks theme song. It just gets stuck in my head for fucking days after I watch it.
Yeah.
Have you got any favourite theme songs?
I do. I like Cody's, but I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the intro, the riff for it, but Cody's just pops me every time. Nah, I've not got much to say on the match itself.
Right, well, I guess we move on. After the match, the Acclaimed came out and got absolutely buried. It was just a bit kind of like a house show is what all I've written down. It was just kind of baddie comes out, baddie gets smashed.
So who was it? The Acclaimed came out, did they? The Acclaimed came out and they interrupted him. Yep. And then SCU come out after it.
Yeah, that's right, just beat the shit out of them.
Did you see that the SCU, they done a promo on, what was it, the Britt Baker showed, whatever she's got, saying the next match that they lose, they're going to split up.
Right, okay. That's interesting.
That was Daniels and Kazarian.
Yeah, that's right,
Kazarian?
Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah. I always get him mixed up with the mindy guy for WWE, Kazarni or whatever his name was. I always get their names mixed up. But they two says if they lose, the next match they lose, that they're going to split up. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick to that or when it does happen. If they just go on like a right good winning streak for the next year or something.
That would be cool. And even if they got the belts for, or like that was the last match, was the Young Bucks split them up or whatever, then that's a cool concept. I like that. I wonder how long they'll run with it for.
Yeah.
Next match was Evil Uno and Stu Grayson and Lance Archer versus The Butcher, The Blade, and Eddie Kingston. So my first thing on that was Lance Archer came out in Luke Harper's gear with the sweaty vest and the jeans and all that. And it was he looked awful, but it was a great tribute.
Aye. It did. It looked a right good part with that wee tribute dressed up as him.
Mm-hmm. Also, the next thing I wrote is to go back to what you said last episode, was how massive he is. And when he did that old school, the walking across the ropes and then doing a moonsault, it just looks amazing with how big he is.
It's just crazy, isn't it? The size of him, and it looks smooth. But there was one, I can't remember who had done it on, but it was like maybe a year ago, and it just looked so dodgy. It looked as though he nearly killed himself. I think he landed right awkward. I'll need to find it and send it to you, but it did look brutal. Before the match, I had that, just before the match, Eddie Kingston cut a wee promo at the start, but he came out, it looked as though his mic wasn't working. He just grabbed the mic off Justin Roberts and he was saying a wee shout out to Brodie Lee, miss him, all of that, and that without him the Dark Order will be nothing. And I just like that. It was like a wee bit of niceness, and then even though he's gone, Dark Order are nothing and we're going to smash his, and that didn't happen anyway. Dark Order and Lance Archer whipped them.
Yeah, that's cool. I actually missed that. But that's really good. I like that, because I was about to say that he cut a pretty babyface promo before it, but then if he came out and said that, then that's a good way to kind of keep him in character. Yeah,
that was a good one.
So what are you thinking of Eddie Kingston just now? I know you were a big fan when he first started, as was I. I'm still a fan. I'm just wondering what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm loving Eddie Kingston, but I need to see what's happening with him, and is he going 1-on-1 with Pac now, or is it going to be a 3-3 with Eddie Kingston, the Butcher and the Blade against the Death Triangle? But I think, did you watch the Being the Elite last night? The post Brodie one, like the tribute?
No, I missed that one.
Like, Eddie Kingston done a backstage, I don't think it was a promo, but it was recorded anyway, and it was just like doing a speech to everybody backstage saying how they had a great night overall, and how this isn't just a one and done, that take that energy going forward and always remember Brodie and all of that. And he just had like such a good backstage like rapport or chemistry with everybody. You could tell that a lot of them were looking up to him and seeing a lot with him. So I think that's really going to take him up there with how much people backstage are behind him and enjoying him, that I reckon he'll be back in the main title picture soon, or that'll reflect very positively for him.
No, that's good, man. It's good to hear. You kind of get the vibes that he's someone who's been around the block, and this is kind of his big break, but he deserves it, if you know what I mean. He's worked towards this. It's not just something that's kind of fallen into his lap because they needed someone to fight Moxley.
Yeah, he seems like really genuine with a lot of stuff that he's coming out with, which is good. Just a wholesome, genuine person.
Yeah, who likes to smash people with barbed wire.
Aye. But the start of the match, the big boot, did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that.
Because I was checking Reddit a couple of days before, and people were posting up all their tributes and favourite parts of Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, like all his career, and that was one of the ones that I noticed stood out, was the start of the match. The ref was patting down his opponent, and he just comes in with a vicious big boot over the referee, and that was just, I really liked that as an opener for a match. It seemed really cool.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it before, but talking of my favourite moments of Brodie Lee, I went to WrestleMania 35, what was that, last 2 years ago now? 2019. And he came back. That's when he returned, and he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, and they didn't even make a big deal out of him coming back, which was typical. But yeah, that was class. And that's probably going to be my favourite moment, was just seeing him come back, squaring up to Braun Strowman and thinking, oh, this is the one. This is going to be the time where they actually give him a run, give him something to do properly, maybe him versus Braun, and then obviously it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think he could have got a lot more. I remember he got an Intercontinental title run back in WWE, but I think that he had a good few matches with Dolph Ziggler. But other than that, I can't remember much other than his tag team runs, then his big return, and they had the Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan versus the Bludgeon Brothers. That was a good one. But that. Yeah, on the 6-man tag match, Butcher and Blade, they're just looking so good now, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They've really come into their own.
Do you reckon they'll be in the top 5 contenders for 2021's tag belts?
I think so. I think I'm trying to think who else they've even got in contention right now. So you've got FTR, you've got Death Triangle, which you said you thought they might get the tag belts as like a Freebird rule kind of thing in the last episode.
Yeah.
You've got the Young Bucks obviously got the belts. You've got SCU. You've got the Acclaimed and Private Party, but Private Party are in the only thing with Matt Hardy.
Yep. And TH2, they're in a tag match. I think it's TH2 and the Acclaimed versus Young Bucks and SCU this week for Dynamite.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. I can't remember too good now. So you've got TH2 as well. They'll be up there, but and Inner Circle, you know they're going to be hanging about title pictures if they stick together for much longer.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. But yeah, I think that Butch and the Blade probably should be getting elevated, especially because they've got the right mouthpiece for it now. I think that was where they had the downfalls, that they didn't really have the kind of charisma to really push them there. But I mean, with Eddie Kingston involved, just do you know what I mean? He can be their Heyman.
Yeah. No, I've not got any notes for the match. How about yourself? You got anything you want to comment on or talk about?
I love the finish. The Fatality, which is Evil Uno and Stu Grayson's tag team finisher. It was like an elevated natural selection. I thought that was a really cool tag finisher because you don't really see Evil Uno in the ring that much, so it was nice to see that. After the match, we've got Jake the Snake hitting Eddie with a clothesline, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, and, that when they all started ganging up on Eddie.
Yeah, and Jake the Snake smacks him, and then Jericho starts jizzing himself, going absolutely nuts.
Yeah, well, I did see yesterday, in fact, FTR see their move, the Goodnight Express.
Mm-hmm.
They contacted Brodie Lee's wife, Amanda, I think it was, and they're going to change that name of the Goodnight Express to Big Rig in memory of Brodie, which is pretty cool.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure if Big Rig might have been his indie name or if it was a nickname or what, but yeah, that's if you hear that for the move, that's where that's came from.
Right, that's interesting, because I was going to ask you later on when we were talking about the women's match. Britt Baker came out and cut a promo and said it's all a big rig, and then looked to this guy and winked, and I was wondering what's that all about, but that explains it.
Yeah, it must have been his indie name maybe, or a nickname, I'm not sure.
I think so. Next thing we had was it Darby Allin's tribute video, where he talked about Brodie Lee, saying that Brodie Lee didn't come with an ego, he came to try and get everyone over, basically.
Yeah.
Which ties into a story I heard about him, where he said when he joined AEW, he asked to be the leader of the Dark Order because he didn't want to come in and like just run train on everyone and not get anyone over. He wanted to come in and elevate all the Dark Order guys as he was a beast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I think it's worked because Dark Order, I was really losing interest in them before they announced that it was going to be, or until Brodie Lee did show up, because they were talking about it maybe being Matt Hardy and teasing this and that. I thought, right, that might be cool, but nah, he just absolutely blew it away with his performance and what he'd done for them, and all the guys there. You're interested in them now. You want to see how they go forward now.
Yeah, it was just a really, really touching tribute video again. It just kind of shows how well loved he was. It's interesting to see the kind of, I don't want to say like the difference in people, but the difference in experience of people who are coming out saying he really, really inspired them. You got Moxley, who's obviously been at the top level of the top company. You've got Eddie Kingston, who's a massive indie name, who this is kind of his first TV run, as far as I know. And then you've got Darby Allin, who's kind of new to the game, and how he inspired all these different people in different ways. So it's quite interesting. Again, it's really sad just hearing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I guess next on the card was Hangman Adam Page, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver versus MJF and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
I'll let you start on this one, man. What are your thoughts?
I liked the match. I liked the John Silver came out in his little Brodie Lee mock attire or whatever it was. Like, I think that's what he had made for being the Elite. A couple of episodes had done that. And so he wore that, and then they started the match with the Papers paying tribute again. And yeah, that was a good one. And they got Brodie Jr. involved in it with a kendo stick, but leathered MJF with it. Who was it? Was it yourself or was it Ross that posted it on the chat about his tweet?
Oh man,
What did his tweet say? Like F that kid or something?
It was Ross. Yeah, Ross showed us this tweet. MJF after the match saying "fuck that kid." He just can't turn it off, can he? It's just
MJF he's a delight. Even though he doesn't want to be a delight, he lives the gimmick.
He is an absolute cunt, isn't he?
He's just always on.
Always on. And it's that kind of classic, like Undertaker only doing interviews as the Undertaker, always being the Undertaker every time you met him and all the rest of it. That living the gimmick, like you just said.
Yeah.
And MJF's got that old school thing in spades, and it's just because you got to think that must have been tough for him to even write that tweet and send it. He must have been thinking this is a bit too far, and then just sent it anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you do have to respect him for being that much of a cunt.
Yeah. There was a good one. It was I think it was like a couple years ago, whenever All Elite was just on TV, just taking off, and they were doing like a paid autograph session for all their superstars or whatever. It might have been the Jericho Cruise or something. It was like name your price for what people pay you to get your autograph in a picture. And he I think, let's say for argument's sake, Jericho was the top one at $100 per autograph.
Yeah.
MJF went and said, right, I'm $101 because I just want to be the most expensive guy. So he just went out, like, I don't think anybody really recognised who he was at the time. Like, who's this guy? Like, a nobody, and he just wants to charge the most to say, and it was just brilliant. It's like total character for him.
You can't. You've got to love it. It's like you can fault what he's doing, but like it's like that time he took the picture with was it the kid or was it the disabled guy, and he's like he's got the middle finger up right in the face.
He's flipping him off as well.
Oh, it's great. Do you got any other moments in the match? I mean, there's one massive moment towards the end that you haven't mentioned yet.
I can't remember what it was, but I enjoyed the match. But what's your point you've got for it?
Right, so I've got a few. This was actually my favourite match of the night. This might actually be one of my favourite matches of AEW. I absolutely loved it. I spent the whole time just I was struggling to take notes. I was just sitting enjoying it. I had to like watch it again to take notes.
Yeah.
So MJF coming out in the Proud and Powerful gear with the Puerto Rico trunks and the bandana on, dressed like a thug, got me laughing. Yeah. Like you mentioned, throwing the paper was great. MJF being such a cunt, screaming at Brodie Jr., getting hit with the kendo stick. Yeah, so John Silver, I've just written, who the fuck knew that John Silver could go? I couldn't believe how good he was. He did a Canadian destroyer that was actually believable to watch, which I don't know how anyone's ever done that. And then followed it up with a Tope Suicida, and I was like, those are two spots that are so overdone, but the way he done it actually made it look like it was real fighting, which was strange. And then the biggest moment of the night, in my opinion, was Eric Rowan just popping out of nowhere. Yeah,
that popped me.
It gave me shivers when it happened, man. And then he held up the sign saying that he'll catch him on the road, and he was crying, and it was just it was emotional. It was really, really emotional. Yeah, it's really, really cool to see. It was someone that we mentioned last episode actually about asking what he's up to, and then he just popped up, and I was just like, oh fucking hell! But it was someone that I hadn't really thought about that much until we were talking about him last episode. So I don't know if we Beetlejuiced him by saying his name 3 times or whatever, but there he is.
Yeah. It was just emotional. You seen him in the ring, and he was holding back so much there, but you could just see the emotion in him there, greeting love. Well, yeah.
On that, apparently he's not actually signed to the AEW. It was just a one-off appearance, but you think the pop and the reaction that everyone got, and that kind of being like almost like the picture moment of the night is him holding up that sign and it being all over Reddit and social media and stuff. You would think that Tony Khan's got to be thinking, look, this might be worth signing him on.
Even if not for like a full-time thing, do like a Matt Cardona deal, give him 3 matches, see how he gets on with the crowd or how he's getting on in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him in WWE, you know that he can work. It's just how he gets on with the crowd, and I reckon given a bit more freedom than what he's used to, he might surprise a few people, and I think that he'll get a full contract if he gets the opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah, well, I really hope so. I've always really liked him. I think he was great. The Wyatt family, Bludgeon Brothers. I actually thought some of the best work in his career was with Daniel Bryan.
What about the Spider?
The Spider was shit. I can't defend
we didn't even know it was a spider until like 5 months down the line, did we? It was just a cage.
What did you think was in the cage before they revealed it?
We thought it was going to be something. I thought it was going to be like a mirror or something like really weird. Something that would make no sense, but nah, they managed to fuck that up and just put a massive robot spider in it instead.
Oh, it was so shit. It was so shit.
How did they even... What happened to it again? Somebody
smashed it. Someone crunched it.
Was it Drew?
It might have been. It was someone who was a massive heel at the time and just came in and absolutely smashed it. And then he was like crying. Was it on the Royal Rumble? I can't remember. I think it was the Royal Rumble. He came in, he put it down, and someone booted it on the way out. So it couldn't have been Drew, unless he did it on the way in. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
The less we remember about that, the better, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I'm happy not remembering.
Yeah. Give him a chance. That's all I'm saying. Put him on AEW Dark even, and get him working with some smaller guys maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely give him a chance.
Yeah, because that run he did with Daniel Bryan when they were the Vegan Warriors or whatever, he was great at that. He was just wearing his own clothes and he was coming out and he just didn't have to say much. And he was just smashing people and he was just there as like a big backup and kind of like almost in a Wardlow kind of position when Wardlow first started. And I was like, that suits him, man. He can get people over doing that. So I do really hope they bring him in.
Yeah.
Right, so the next match on the card was the women's tag team match. It was Anna Jay and Ty Conti versus Penelope Ford and Britt Baker. I don't know if you want to take the lead on this one as well, mate, or you want me to go?
I didn't really pay that much attention to it, but see that Ty Conti, I can't get her name. Don't know what it is. It's like...
I think it's Ty Conti.
See, why would you have it to Ty Conti and their name's T-A-Y? I would say Tay Conti. But nah, that just... Every time that just fucks me up trying to get her name right, but...
I know.
That was a shorter match, wasn't it? It didn't seem that long anyway.
Yeah, it was quite short. I actually think it was a decent match.
It looked as though there was a couple of stiff hits at one point in it.
Ooh.
A couple of stiff shots in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But, everybody looked alright after it anyway. Coming out, going in. What was it? It was a submission finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what it was, if I was surprised or not, but see Dark Order going over every match.
Yeah.
Like, you would think going into it, like, right, you probably would have the Dark Order winning every one of their matches, just as like a nice wee extra or whatever. But it was just weird. Every match I was thinking, right, they must lose this one, but nah, clean sweep. Spoilers for last match as well then.
Well,
it's a week old anyway. Everybody will probably know what's happening.
Yeah, it's like spoiling a movie from the 70s. Who cares? All I've written is that it's actually a decent match, which I was surprised. Not because the women on the roster aren't talented, because I think they are really talented. I just think that the booking of the division is crap, for lack of a better term. I think it's really boring, and I haven't been invested in any storylines.
Yeah, see, that's the weird thing. I do like them, but there's just nothing making me want to watch the women's matches. But you've got Britt Baker, she's really good. Anna Jay, she's like getting a bit more of a role with being in the Dark Order and maybe recruiting women to join the Dark Order. That's what I think's happening with Ty Conte with her, recruiting her in. Hikaru Shida, that's the women's champion just now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't even know much about her. Who was the women's champ before that?
That was Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose, yeah, that's right. And now she's doing her thing with Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah. It's all really disjointed.
I don't even know that many big women that you could get in to really push the women's division, or because I think it was Kenny Omega that's either was in charge of it or he still is. But because he done a lot of stuff, where was he? New Japan? Was that his like big promotion before it all? So he's over in New Japan. He probably knows like a lot of good female wrestlers from over there, and that's how we've got like the Hikaru Shida. And like last year, there was a few women from over there coming in doing work, but you never really got to recognise them or know who they were. I reckon you need like an ex-WWE or maybe Impact, ODB, something like that.
On that, I was reading somewhere, and I don't know where, there was rumours that Jazz was going to show up.
Jazz is on Impact just now.
Maybe that's where I read she was going to go.
But before she appeared on Impact for this recent one, she put a tweet out saying that's her done, she's retired, and then a week or two later she's on Impact, and I think she's in a tag tournament or something like that.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I'm not even sure, like Ivory, do you think Ivory's still going? Well, I think she's fucking near enough retired now, but you reckon she could have one more good match in her?
Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not.
Because I think she was like the original, she was one of the women of Glow. So that might be like a good way to get some more people in, like Ivory's coming back, having a big match, maybe like a tournament, a Royal Rumble or Queen of the Ring or something to challenge for the belt. So give her something small, a Royal Rumble, a month or so of training, getting ring ready, shake off any rust, and then like a good title match to build the champion and get more eyes on it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you know, one idea I thought about was, what happened to Awesome Kong? Was she not in AEW at the start, remember? I don't know if she's still on the payroll or what's going on, but she would be great for elevating it a bit.
Awesome Kong, yeah, that's right. Was she the... she was, wasn't she? She was
right.
like the first pay-per-view, I think. Or maybe it was like the first Women's Royal Rumble Battle Royal thing. What is it they call it again? See the one that's like the cards, and if you're a heart you come out, if you're a spade you come out, and then you've got your joker at the end.
The Casino Battle Royal, is it?
That's it, the Casino Battle Royale. That's what she was in, wasn't it? That was her big...
Yeah, it's... I kind of feel it's a wasted opportunity in a way.
Oh, no, wait, it was Brandy brought her in, didn't she? As a Nightmare Collective, or... what were they called again? I can't remember, but that didn't last very long, did it?
Who was the one that were cutting hair? Was that Nyla Rose? Was that Awesome Kong?
I think that was Awesome Kong. So I think that's Brandy was carrying the scissors, and you had Brandy, Awesome Kong, and a third one.
That's right. And she was going about cutting everyone's hair off, and then she just didn't show up one week, and fuck knows where all the hair's gone. She made the wig and she fucked off.
Just collecting it.
She got enough, and she made the wig. She's gone down. She sold it, and she's like, "Yeah, that's me made enough now, mate. I'm off."
Done. Now I've got it here. Nightmare Collective was Brandy, Awesome Kong, Mel, and Luther. Can't remember who Mel was.
Nah. Luther.
He's a really weird one for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Like I'm not, but I think he's like been all over the place, all over the world fighting. Jericho loves him. I think he maybe goes back a good few years with him. Because that's who Jericho had for his, was that his 30 years or something?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Which I thought was a weird choice.
And he wanted to fight Luther for some reason. Everybody was just scratching their head like, really?
Yeah, you could have like a classic here.
Maybe he just wanted an easy win or something.
Yeah, maybe. Think Luther even knew he was in the match? He's just dead Gleek, isn't he?
It baffles me, but I don't know if maybe he's good at training and maybe that's why they've got him in to train people or character work or something, but see that pointing to his head and sticking his tongue out, that goes through me. I just don't get it at all.
Yeah. As soon as he does it, I'm just like, oh no, there's nothing between the eyes, is there? There's just nothing there.
The final match then.
Yeah, we've got Cody, Rhodes, Orange Cassidy, and number 10 of the Dark Order versus Team Taz. And this was Brodie Lee Jr.'s 6-man dream match, where apparently he picked these people. And I was thinking, what fucking kid would pick Team Taz for anything?
Last picked.
Yeah, he picked
the actual last pick
of
the show, Team Taz, right? Fine, get in there.
He picked 6 cool people, and they're like, actually, we kind of need 3 wankers for the other side. And he's like, oh well, those 3 are wankers, pick them.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking is, why is he going to pick Cody after he's fought his dad for so long? Dog collar match. His dad abused him. Like, you've got a dream match. I'll tell you what. Cody, let's get him in there. Maybe he wanted Team Taz to beat them. Maybe that's what it is, and he's raging with the result. Like, because, Brodie Lee in Orange Cassidy matches as well, didn't we? For the belt.
Yeah, you're right.
And he probably just hates 10 of the Dark Order, so Brodie Jr.'s probably like, I tell you what, I hate Cody, hate Preston, hate Orange Cassidy. Who's the 3 baddest bastards in AEW right now? Team Taz. I'll stick them in there with Team Taz. I'll get my revenge. Like, biggest heel turn. The biggest heel turn of 2020 was Brodie Lee Jr. and it backfired on him because fucking Cody just had to get the win again, didn't he?
Oh man, I think you're onto something. I think he looked around and he's like, who's the biggest fucking roid head on the roster? Well, there's Brian Cage, who looks like a gorilla in a human suit. We'll put him in the match.
You can't even get in the locker room for all the fucking steroids.
The only man who has to walk in every door sideways to fit.
No, it was a decent match,
I thought it was a good match. I thought it showed them all being good workers, and yeah, I think that kind of just showed that they were all pretty solid in the ring, really. I don't think there was any weak spots there.
Yeah.
I don't have any spots written down, but I did enjoy it. I didn't take my eyes off the screen, so that's good.
Just the classic Orange Cassidy going for the kicks, was it?
Yeah, which, I mean...
Going for the kicks and that backfired.
And that was that a picture-in-picture for you, him doing that? Are you watching on Fight TV?
Yeah.
Do you get picture-in-picture on Fight TV?
Yeah, I think it does. Well, it doesn't give you a picture-in-picture, it just keeps playing, but you don't get the commentary, or you get less commentary sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, because I was watching it live, and it, so with the American adverts and all that, and it's just a nightmare, the picture.
What are you doing watching it live? I was going to say, you usually use something else for watching it, but I wasn't going to say, in case you get a chap at the door.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to say that either, am I?
Was this a special occasion, was it?
I was treating myself. might have to edit all this out before the police come round. It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
It's alright, mate. We're at lockdown 5 now. They can't come round. So, where are you? What area do you stay in? Well, you can't come round here.
It's only allowed. Well, we've already got 2 people in here. You can't come.
Got 2 people in the dugs, mate. Full capacity.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say about the match, man. I enjoyed it, and it was cool. Was the Sting promo after this? At the end of it, Sting had a face off with Taz after this match.
No, Darby Allin and Taz, Sting just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so was I talking about this last week with you? Having a Sting and Taz cinematic, maybe?
Yep, so I've written Andy's probably right, is what I've written for my notes on that.
Won't be many times we get that wrote down.
So yeah, I think you're right. So we had the video package after that, which was really good. I always think they do really good jobs with video packages.
Yeah.
It was good to see. It was strange because it was weird seeing Bray Wyatt and Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins on Dynamite. That was really jarring. But other than that, it was really good. It was a good video reel. Again, really emotional. Just crazy to think that Brodie's gone. And then, yeah, like you were just about to talk about, you were going to talk about the emotional climax at the end of the show. So I'll let you tell us.
Yeah, whenever they bring the family back out, yep, and they've gave Brodie Jr. the TNT Championship now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you follow that up online or anything? Have you seen that they're going to do a new design for the TNT belt?
I was going to ask you what you thought they were going to do, but that's obviously what they're doing. Okay.
I think I did see it somewhere that they're coming up with a new design for the TNT belt, and maybe not this week, maybe next week or the week after. They should be debuting that for Darby Allin.
Cool. That's cool.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, because you remember when they first brought this TNT belt, the reactions that got?
Yeah, everyone thought it was shit.
And how much they were getting slagged, because whenever they first announced AEW, they were saying, we're going to make the belts mean something. And the belts do mean something, but they said they're going to have nice designs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they roll out this fucking belt. I can't remember what the very first design of it was, because it wasn't finished, because that's when everything kicked off with lockdowns and all of this carry on.
Yeah,
so
the first design
they couldn't get the belt.
Yeah, that's right. The first design they couldn't put the gold plating on, so it was the same belt, but it was just silver plating. So it looked unfinished. It looked pretty cheap.
But that's the thing, it was silver plating, and then all they done was tarted it up a wee bit and changed the colour, and it still looked the same with the daft TNT bang in the middle of it.
Yeah, I know. And the red, I didn't like the red.
But that's what they were getting slagged for, because they're like, we're not just going to slap 24/7 like what the WWE done. We're not going to do 24/7, and then it's just TNT.
Yeah, we're going to put a TV station on it. We're not going to put the name of the belt on it. We're just going to slap a TV logo on it instead, and because we're not all about the money here or the sponsors.
I wonder how long they've got the contract for TNT though.
Oh, that is public information. I can just Google it really quick.
Because what would happen then if they did go to another network? Would they change the name of the belt, or would they make a new belt, or does the champion stay on that network but just jump on a different TV show? It's like, what the fuck's Darby Allin doing here?
It's like the Great American Bake Off starring Darby Allin. With special guest Sting.
Just showing up nowhere, like, who's this creep with the face paint?
It's fucking smashing their cakes with a bat. So they've got they've got a contract with TNT all the way through to 2023. So they've got a couple of years at least.
No, 2 years yet. So fair enough then. Keep the belt for 2 more years, then we'll see what happens with it.
I think that was the kind of them doing that thing with the TNT title was very much them being like, please keep us, please.
Yeah.
I think it's worked. Like they're always going on about it on their Twitter. Apparently, TNT. So
Yeah, they're doing well anyway. I don't think they're fucking doing really good because they're getting good ratings, aren't they? They're beating NXT quite a lot of times. Then I think a couple of weeks ago they even beat Raw's viewership numbers.
wow, that's mental.
Yeah. But then they're not going head against head. It'll be the same people watching Raw that's watching AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall numbers are up, which is good.
Yeah, no, that is good. It's good for wrestling, actually. It's good. Hopefully, it gives WWE a kick in the arse as well.
Aye, a much needed kick up the arse.
Yeah. But then again, if this week's anything to go by, that's not fucking happening. But so to quickly finish on Dynamite. Like we said at the start, I thought it was an amazing tribute show.
Yeah.
It's probably the best tribute show I've seen in years. And the fact that they did it all so quickly. Apparently Tony Khan was pulling all-nighters for the weekend before the show to get it written and ready and made. And he did. It just came all off his own back. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see. And gives me a lot of respect for Tony Khan.
Yeah, he done a great job. Everybody on the show done a great job. Backstage as well. Everybody overall fantastic. Can't fault it given everything that's happened, all the circumstances. They done well pulling together and putting on something that really meant a lot. You could see.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So that's us done with Dynamite for last week. Don't know if you've got any predictions for this week at all.
Well, I've got the matches here for this Wednesday. Have you got them?
No, but you can read them to me and I'll just...
I've noted them down here. So we've got the AEW title match, Kenny Omega versus Rey Fenix.
Yeah. Are we just going to do predictions?
Got to expect Kenny to be winning that one, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to maybe see something dodgy. Well, I reckon it will be a dodgy finish of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But Kenny's walking out with the belt, no doubt about that.
Aye, definitely.
The return of John Moxley, but they've not said. Doubt it'll be a match. Do you think he'll show up in person, or do you think it'll be another promo?
I'm holding out for him showing up in person.
Well, even if he's there in person, it could be a promo.
I'm holding up for him in person.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one. Well, you know, it would be cool. See if AEW are trying to work with other promotions for partnerships and that. Who was it that won or retained at the New Japan?
Yeah, Kenta.
Was it Wrestle Kingdom? Is it Kenta?
Yeah, that's right. It's Kenta.
Like he's the one that's supposed to be fighting Moxley next for the belt.
Yeah.
With this briefcase that he's got.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenta was WWE, wasn't he? Before he went back to New Japan.
Yeah, he was in NXT. He was...
I can't remember what his name was there. Hideo Itami.
That's him. Hideo Itami, aye.
So it'd be cool if maybe he sends in a promo or something, like Moxley's talking on the mic, gets cut off, and he's put a video package sent through.
That would be really cool.
And maybe that starts like New Japan having something happening in the US TV deal, tune in, see what's happening.
No, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. It'd be an amazing shout if you're right.
Aye, that'll be a far-fetched one, but we can see.
Nothing would make me happier than having to write Andy was right again in my notes.
So other than Moxley's return, we've got AEW Women's Championship match, Hikaru Shida versus Abaddon.
To be honest, I hope Abaddon wins just so we get something going. What do you think?
I think Hikaru Shida will keep the belt again, but Abaddon's another one that I've not really taken much interest in. She just freaks me out. Just scares me. She's worse than the Boogeyman. Like, see if the Boogeyman done his job right and actually scared me. This is what it would have been.
I'm still holding out. Like I said last episode, that Hikaru Shida will turn up as a zombie because she's got bitten by a zombie. So I'm really hoping that happens.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we've got the Young Bucks in SCU versus Acclaimed in TH2. Hopefully that'll be the Young Bucks and SCU, or SCU will need to disband.
Yeah, you would be thinking they're really good at protecting their champions, AEW, so you'd think that it's not a title match, the Young Bucks will win.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. Finally we get Wardlow versus Hager.
I don't know what they're going to do. I kind of feel they're going to go for a gimmicky draw kind of finish. What do you think?
See, I really want to see this match, but Wardlow is still fairly new. Like, needs a bit of guidance. And Jake Hager, I don't know how he works in the ring as the lead. How much he can take on, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll do like a 2 minute something, and then the inner circle gets in while you's fighting, wrap it, and then we just get like a nothing, and this will build up for like a few months down the line when there's a big implosion in the inner circle.
No, yeah. It would be interesting.
I think that's that's the one that's got me excited, and it probably shouldn't. It'll be a massive letdown.
I just can't see it being a serious match.
Nah.
I think it's got to be. It's going to end. I can see it ending as them hugging it out and calling it a draw.
Hug it out, bitch.
Because they've settled the differences between MJF and Proud and Powerful, which was the big thing.
Yeah.
This is the other thing. So if they get this going, then it's going to be the only thing left in there is going to be Sammy Guevara and MJF not liking each other. And I think that's kind of what they're aiming for right now, and that might be the way to get Sammy out of the inner circle and give him a solo run.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, no, but I'm excited for that. I mean, all the inner circle stuff's always entertaining. So.
Oh, aye. And then the final match that I've got here, I think they call it like a showcase match or a showcase special or something.
Okay.
It's Cody Rhodes versus... This isn't his name anymore. Matt Sydal. That's his name now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've got Evan Bourne wrote down here because you just see the face and you're like, Evan Bourne, that's him.
Yeah, hopefully it gives him a chance to actually get himself over and not slip off the top rope again.
But this will be the one where Cody plays more towards the heel side, I think.
Think so.
And like, just see when you're watching it, just like try and keep that in your mind for the entrance, and I'll bet you he brings everybody out for the entrance. He'll probably bring Brandy out and they'll be like touching her stomach and that for the baby, and try to like make this big point about it, and he'll just come across as a dick though.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're right.
But, he'll probably have Brandy, QT, Dustin.
Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah.
The dog. He'll bring the dog out and all.
Oh no, I think they're barred for bringing the dog out anymore after the fireworks situation.
That's awful, man. Like, let's bring a dog out. Animals who are famous for being scared of fireworks, and we'll put them here with the pyro.
Then they blamed the fucking pyro guy and got him sacked.
What a heel.
What you doing setting the fireworks off? What I get paid to do?
What a heel. What an absolute heel.
I bet you that was like their plan for the start, to like get them a wee bit of heel heat. Like, we'll sack the guy that was just doing his job.
You see that guy's just trying to feed his family, let's just fuck his whole life. That'll get his heat. Cool. So
that's a wrap for AEW then, eh? But NXT have got a big special in this week as well, New Year's Evil.
I saw an advert for it during Raw.
On Raw, yeah. That's what just like flicked in my head, so I made a wee note of that. New Year's Evil on Wednesday, so that'll be the only match I noticed was the title match, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, who I really like. I really like Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
But that's got to be Finn Balor's all the way.
Like, I hope they can keep plugging away a wee bit with the Undisputed Era, because I think they're going to be closing that out soon, like breaking them up or something, and I just hope that they save it for a crowd, because that'll be like a big reaction. Yeah. Either Adam Cole turning, or maybe even Kyle O'Reilly turning and taking Bobby Fish and who's the other one, Roderick Strong, taking they two away with him. That'll be interesting to see. Do you think the Undisputed Era will make it through 2021?
Oh, I think it's got to do.
They survived. They survived the fucking corona.
I know they've survived Corona, and after all this, I think that Vince will want them on the main roster as a group.
That's like the dream. That's what I would like to see. But
I can't.
You need a crowd, and you need a big event for it, and they're just. It's just got to be wasted if they do it for this Royal Rumble. Maybe.
I mean, it's got. I reckon Adam Cole will be in the Royal Rumble, but I think that this is a Raw after WrestleMania kind of event, them coming up. But I can't see it without a crowd. But then I guess they see the Thunderdome as a crowd, so I don't know.
If you tried to go into that Thunderdome and apply for going on it,
I did go for it, but then I was too late for the application, and ever since then I've forgotten every time. I don't know what day you need to apply for it. Is it the day before?
Yeah.
Is it before that?
I think I go on it like the night before or something. It's like, oh, all filled up for this week. I'm like, forget it then.
Yeah,
Lost interest.
Yeah, that was the same as me. If I'd got it that time by accident, I would have been dead keen, but I can't imagine it being that good. I can imagine it being like being forced to watch Raw without being able to fast forward the shit bits.
Yeah. I'd like to give it a shot and see how it goes, but see this applying a week before it, I'll never remember.
No, it's the same as me. I'll always forget.
So we'll just do a quick what happened on Raw without going through match by match.
Yeah, absolutely. I've only got like a few notes for Raw. So yeah, we'll just go through it quickly, mate. It's up to you if you want to start.
Well, I was disappointed when Teddy Long came out and didn't announce an 8-man tag, but he wanted to put them against The Undertaker instead. And then Undertaker wasn't even there.
I know.
Like,
I did laugh.
Did they say they're going 1-on-1? Used to are going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker player.
He said used to are going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker.
I can't remember if that's what he said, but that's just like what I always remember. 1-on-1 with the Undertaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that brings me back to my favourite era ever of SmackDown with the SmackDown 6, and it was so good. So I'm always happy to see Teddy Long.
You remember AJ Styles' big pal?
Yes.
They've changed the way they say his name now, and it's really thrown me off.
How did they used to say it?
I think it was Omos.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, but now they're going Umas.
Are they?
Yeah, like they made a point of saying it 20 times last night, Umas, and I'm like, what?
Umas.
How did you used to say his name? I can't remember. I think it was
Omos.
Omos or something like that, but they're going Umas now, and it's freaking me out.
No.
It's just got to be like the whole Ty Conti situation again.
Yeah. No.
I'm just never going to get it right.
Yeah. I don't get it because it was almost before it's spelt OMOS. So, but then again, maybe that's how that's pronounced.
I've got a list of all the legends that I noted, but there was just some weird things. Like, did you see the Mark Henry's appearance?
Yeah, he's obviously.
And he was kicking about on a scooter. Yeah.
It was one of those injury scooters, wasn't it? One of the ones where you like rest your leg on so that you can just kind of poke about on it.
Do you reckon he's actually got something, or do you think that was just like a wee put this on so it looks as though you've got a reason not to go fighting Randy Orton?
I would probably think he's got something. I would think he's got something because I can't see Mark Henry turning down the opportunity to sell a RKO or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing was they kept announcing Carlito to show up, and I never seen him.
So I know about what happened there. He got stuck in traffic, believe it or not. Him and someone else was supposed to appear, and he couldn't make it. Basically, there was someone with LA traffic. Was it LA? No, it's not LA. It's Florida, is it? I don't know where they are. I don't know where the Thunderdome is.
Pass.
America. It's in old America-shire.
So he couldn't make it then.
He couldn't make it because of traffic, which is shite. I do like Carlito a lot. He's one of my boys.
it was ballsy for them to bring Hulk Hogan back. It was smart because they can just they can chime in all the cheers.
Yeah, I know, but
Because if they put him there on a live show,
booed.
he would have got booed out of there.
I know. Well, I've like so he's one of the only few people I've written notes about, right? So as you know, he doesn't get called Hulk Hogan in this house. He's known as Big Racist Terry. So I've got he came up to Drew McIntyre and he was trying to have crack with Drew McIntyre and get him over, but Hulk Hogan's way of getting someone over is making them say his catchphrases back to him in typical Big Racist Terry fashion.
See, I don't know who I cringed at more there because I can't warm to Drew anymore. I liked him when he came back as the heel and he was working with Dolph and that, but see now that he's a face and he's put on this dodgy American Scottish accent, it's just freaking me out. And
I know, it freaks me out as well. Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I know what you
McIntyre.
Got a bit of the Mel Gibsons. But so Big Racist Terry said, Drew, you remind me of me, dude. And I was thinking, he reminds you of a racist, politicking, sun-damaged old cunt. That's what I've written down.
Whenever it says you remind me of me, like, what, just racist and fighting me people?
Just awful, just an awful human being.
Sign it me AEW, put him in WO, then that'll remind them.
So I mean,
I did have one good note here that I'm going to make for see the Riddle Bobby Lashley match.
Yeah.
See, Riddle tapped and then he pinned him.
Mm-hmm.
He tapped, referee didn't see it, so he got the pin on him.
Yeah.
He should call that the brawl up.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. You should copyright that quickly.
That is a good. Beat him with the brawl up.
Yeah, I beat him with a brawl up. Yeah, I like that.
They've already beat me probably.
The last thing I'm going to say, actually, no, we're talking about that now, so we'll talk about that. On the Hurt Business, I was going to say that I love the Hurt Business. I think they're great as a gimmick. I think MVP's doing some of the best mic work of his career. I think Bobby Lashley has finally found his footing since he's come back. And I think that the only thing that they're doing wrong now is what's going on with the Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander stuff. What's going on there? Why are they splitting them up?
They're
basically?
like giving him a wee bit of an ego complex or something now that he's getting the wins in.
But like, the thing that hacks me off is that when they get an actual good, they're so quick to make stables, and most of the stables are just thrown together shite. When this one actually comes through quite naturally, it feels real, and you're trying to break it up. It's just classic Vince booking. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
I think they should have put Ricochet in the mix when they had the chance.
They had a match, didn't they? If you lose, you join, and then they got a wee Snyder of a win. That's when they done the Eddie finish with the chair, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was a good finish, but now Ricochet's just like floating about. Is he going to join? Who's it? What's the other stable called? Retribution.
Retribution, yeah.
So he went for fighting Hurt Business week after week, not joining them, and now he's just doing the same thing with Retribution.
It's such a shame because he's such a good wrestler.
I think he could have a good matches with Ali. I don't know if they did fight in 205 Live or NXT. They probably did out in the Indies, but they could have some good stuff.
There'd be a lot of destroyers and Spanish flies in that fight.
Whenever I was having a look through the internet last week, I think I did notice he might be one of the ones whose contracts are coming up to an end very soon. Ricochet.
Right.
So maybe that's why they're not doing anything too much with him just now. And he might be just getting fed up with it anyway and wanting to patch WWE if there's going to be other options there.
Especially considering they would treat him better.
Yeah. Lighter schedules probably. Well, I wonder how good the schedule is for WWE now that they're only actually doing one a week for each show.
I guess right now it'd be really good, but I think you'd have to look in the long term with the fact that as soon as they can, they'll be touring again.
Yeah, Well, I think a few months ago they were talking about it, and they're getting enough good money for the TV deals that they were talking about maybe scrapping the every night thing, but still once a week. Their Raws and their SmackDowns, they'll travel, but it'll still only be one show a week.
That would be good.
Rather than all the house shows. But have you been to any like the WWE house shows when they were in the UK?
Yeah, I've been to a couple in was it the Hydro was the last ones?
Yeah, I think that was the last one. But the house shows are good. You get good laugh and good entertainment, and it's stuff that you don't see on the TV because they've got it all like wrote down to a T. Whereas at the house show they get a bit of freedom, flexibility. The last one that I went to, Shelton Benjamin and R-Truth were fighting, and Shelton Benjamin was on the mic and he was just doing some really good stuff, but you don't see that on the TV. I don't know if it's maybe a nerves thing or he's got too much pressure to try and meet the times or whatever, but he's really good. He's fun to see live.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is always, and you always get spots and stuff that Vince would just never allow on telly. People just doing really silly stuff.
Yeah, Vince allows some weird stuff on telly, remember? He's a strange fish.
Strange. Yeah, he's maybe the strangest man to ever exist. Oh, have you heard that they're doing a Netflix documentary series about him?
Nah, I've not seen it. This one a few years ago.
No, it's I think it's still in production right now. It's not. There's no trailers or anything for it, but there's one coming out on Netflix. WWE are helping them with it. I don't know how much they're helping them. Hopefully they're just providing them footage and Netflix will do it themselves so we can actually hear how much of a bastard he is.
That's a weird one. You think like WWE would just do it themselves and stick it on the network, unless Netflix are paying them a good amount of money for it.
I imagine Netflix will be paying through the nose for it. I think Vince...
Oh, aye.
I mean, surely you have to look at that and go, well, we're going to get a massive audience doing it through Netflix. Do you know what I mean? Then you're going to get some mainstream people maybe coming back to wrestling because of it. So
the last thing that I've got here then, have you got anything before the main event?
Just one, just about how Shayna Baszler's gone from being one of the most legit wrestlers in the world to losing to Dana Brooke in her civvies, and that's shite.
That is shite.
So I just every time she comes on the telly now, I'm just like, oh Shayna, what have they done to you, man?
I really liked Dana Brooke, and I think she had a thing with Batista a year ago or so, a year or two ago, and she was tweeting at him, and she got really over for a few months, and then just like back down to the bottom again.
I think they're going out, aren't they? Are they not still going out?
Are they going out now?
I think they were going out.
I don't know if they were going out, but I think it was like, oh, I've got a personal gym, come check it out. And she went, don't mind if I do. But I wonder if maybe they're keeping her sweet to maybe get Batista back. But he got his retirement match, didn't he? Triple H was his retirement match. Mm-hmm. Or so he says, but that's what they all say. They'll come back for a wee bit of cash.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he probably would. I mean, the Saudi Arabia money might get him there. No, apparently Dana Brooke has gone out with an MMA fighter now.
Did you notice the backstage segment with Ric Flair and Randy Orton?
Yeah.
And Ric Flair was talking to Molly Holly and another guy.
I didn't see who the other guy was. Who was it?
I think it was IRS.
Was it?
And that's Bray Wyatt's dad, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, you're
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah, but... So, like, they three were talking, and Randy Orton comes into the picture, and he stares at IRS, and he just gives him this right funny look, but they don't really mention anything, and IRS just gets a bit shifty and walks off camera. I just thought, that's like a cool wee, if you know, you know sort of thing.
That's such a good Easter egg, man. I didn't pick up on that, but that is quality. That's really good.
Yeah, so... If you've got a catch up, see if you notice that again.
Yeah, I'll get my catch up on that.
Aye.
Right, so on you go, mate. Let's talk about the main event.
I liked the match. I had a couple of drinks last night when I was watching it, and it got to the main event, and I decided I'll go on Twitch for a bit.
Yeah.
So I was playing Fall Guys on Twitch whilst watching the wrestling. Mm-hmm. but I fucked up my audios, and you could hear like all the commentary coming through my Twitch stream. But I went up to bed after the show, and the girlfriend was still awake, and I says to her, I was just on Twitch for a wee half hour there. And she went, oh, let me see, and I put it on, and you could just hear like Michael Cole and Samoa Joe. No, it wasn't even Michael Cole, isn't it? Not Samoa Joe and the rest of them on commentary, and I'm like, ah, shit, I'm going to get done here.
So I had to
like, jump back on. I had to get back on my Twitch and delete it before I got more than 3 views.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that is so funny, man.
Nah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I thought it's going to be a rubbish match. I hoped Keith Lee would have won it just because I'm sick of Drew now.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. Alright finish. And then after the match is where the big talking point is, isn't it?
Yeah. The only point I've got from the match is another fucking Spanish fly. But the difference being that it's actually cool to see two massive people do it.
Massive Spanish fly, yeah.
Aye, so it was cool, but again, it's like what we said last episode. It's who does that hurt? but that one was cool. I mean, it's good seeing massive people do stuff like that where they have no right doing it. And Keith Lee just keeps amazing me by doing stuff like that. So that was cool. It was a Spanish fly I enjoyed. And then we had the aftermath. Big bastard Billy G, he's back.
The Goldberg, back for more. Who's next?
Who's next?
I kind of hoped nobody was going to be next. It was just it. But,
who's next? Nah. Hopefully retirement, mate. That's what's next.
But aye. At this point, you're like, why is he coming in? Like, he could have a good match. See the SummerSlam that he done with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah,
that was a fun match, even though it was a nothing. And then he came back and got was it the Universal or the WWE belt?
I think he's only had the Universal.
It was the Universal, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It was the Universal, I think, because he got that, then he lost it at WrestleMania, and now he's back to fight Drew at Royal Rumble, and you can't see Goldberg winning this at Royal Rumble, can you?
No, I mean the only option is he wins at a Rumble, and then someone else wins the Rumble to beat Goldberg for the title. But I'm just like, I don't want to see it. I'm just not here for it.
Nah,
I'm not interested.
I'd rather have had somebody else fighting at Royal Rumble and losing rather than Goldberg coming out and losing.
Yeah,
like somebody that is full time, even if it's like a daft rematch. Like who?
I would have taken Keith Lee.
You could have had a Sheamus one, Sheamus Drew.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Keith.
That would have been good. I mean,
or a Sheamus, Keith Lee, Drew triple threat.
That would have been great, actually. Had that.
Unless they're maybe saving. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I've got written about.
They could have done. See if you done your Royal Rumble as the main event.
Yeah.
You could have had Drew versus Sheamus versus Keith Lee in a triple threat, and whoever doesn't take the pin gets put in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. So whoever gets pinned,
that would have been a decent way to work it, but
isn't allowed to join the Royal Rumble. But whoever doesn't can join, and they get given whatever number.
Yeah, whoever doesn't lose gets put in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's cool. Would you make that like a? Would you make it like an upfront thing? Like that's the stipulation of the match, so everyone knows that they're going to be in the Rumble.
Announce it beforehand so that you decide, or you kind of play the match out with a bit of tactics.
Yeah, you know you're not going to win, so you smash the other guy and let him take the pinfall so you can get in the Rumble.
Aye, because then that could be like a Sheamus heel turn, couldn't it? Does he go in and break up a pin to save the match? Or does he hold back and say, right, well, Keith Lee's getting pinned here. Drew can win the belt, Keith Lee can get pinned, at least I'm going to the Rumble and I get another chance. And I'm semi-fresh.
Yeah, I really like that.
Semi-fresh for the Rumble rather than keeping this match going and taking more of a beating.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that a lot.
That could have been a cool way,
Yeah.
But instead we've got Goldberg.
But Yeah, but we've got Goldberg. So, as Vince McMahon says, you don't like what you think you like what I tell you to like. So, that's what we like, is Goldberg in 2021. Fucking 54-year-old Goldberg. Did you notice that he'd cut his big baldy head again on the wall or whatever he does? Like he had the cut where he usually headbutts the door.
Yeah, that was brutal, that one.
It's like, oh yeah, the bad one was the Saudi Arabia one against Taker. That was the one where he was obviously concussed when he came to the ring.
Yeah, I watched that match once. I don't think I've ever went back and watched it again. I don't think I could do that to myself.
No, I couldn't. I've already thought they were both dead once. Right, well, I mean, the last thing, I mean, I guess we can do this quickly. Royal Rumble. Who's winning both the Rumbles? What do you think?
I think Daniel Bryan will win the men's just because he's made a point of saying he's never won anything like a Battle Royal or a Royal Rumble in his career. And then that'll just lead up to Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, which I think has been on the cards for a while.
Yep.
But I think Daniel Bryan has signed a new contract saying that he's actual part-time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the only way maybe that's playing on my head saying he might not get it. But Daniel Bryan for the men's and for the women's, I don't think they're really building anybody other than Charlotte Flair and maybe Shayna Baszler now.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that'll go down to the final two again this year, Charlotte Flair and Baszler. And I think Shayna Baszler for the win.
Okay.
Wait, who you got?
Daniel Bryan, for the exact same reasons. And I think he's going to lose to Roman at WrestleMania. I think he's going to give him the best match of his career, and he's going to lose. And I think it will just solidify Reigns as just the ultimate dick. I don't know if he cheats to win or what he does, but yeah, I think that I think that's my shout with it. And I think that Bianca Belair is going to win. I think it's going to be one of these ones where it's a bit you weren't expecting it.
Oh yeah.
I think that Charlotte and Shayna Baszler will be maybe it's the last three is them three, and because they've been teasing the Bianca Belair Charlotte thing for ages, how they're both kind of cut from the same cloth, if you know what I mean. And I think that would be a really good moment is for her to throw Charlotte out to win. I think that would really, really put her over.
Yeah.
And I'll have the same vibes as Drew winning last year.
That would be a good shout.
So I've put a double on that as well for Daniel Bryan and Bianca to win. But I mean,
SmackDown taking both wins.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the one thing I thought. I thought either that or
But even then, they could both take the wins, but they could jump brand, can't you?
yeah, you can, yeah, and
Nah, I can't see Daniel Bryan jumping to Raw for it.
no, but I can see Bianca versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania easily.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they've been teasing that, so I think that'll be good.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I mean, my heart is screaming Edge.
Oh, aye. He's due for a return at the Royal Rumble, isn't he?
I think he might return to just put out Randy Orton, and it'll be them two having the last match at Mania. Well, no, Orton won't be able to fight, will he? Because he'll probably be fighting Bray Wyatt, who'll murder him, so maybe he won't be in the Rumble.
Oh, do you think Orton could win the Rumble after all this Fiend carry on?
Surely not. I mean, he won it. He won it a few years ago, didn't he?
You're disliking Orton, aren't you?
I've never really been a big Randy Orton fan.
Yeah, he wanted to go on and fight Bray Wyatt, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that was a weird one. Is that the one you went to?
No, that was the year before. The one I went to was Seth Rollins had won the Rumble and he beat Brock Lesnar in the opening match.
Oh, yeah. When he said he's not hanging about all night.
Yeah. Big Racist Teddy was at that one as well. My mate. Yeah, that's that, I guess. But that was a good one, mate.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the episode. You can find us on Instagram. Yeah. So you can find us on Instagram at Snapdragon Duplex. We're on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get podcasts. I mean, if you're listening to this, you already know that.
Yeah. Wherever you were listening to this, find more of us for there.
Randy, how do we find you on Twitch?
On Twitch, you can find me, Randy Phill.
That's Randy Phill with 2 L's. Don't forget the extra L.
2 L's, Randy Phill. But if you want me on Twitter, it's Randy Phill, 2 Y's, 2 L's, because some gimps already went and took Randy Phill with 1 eye. So it's just totally fucked up my whole plan for.
So you're Randy Phill.
Forget. Randy
Oh, it's
Phill.
2 Y's. I thought it was 2 I's. You're Randy Phill.
So if Randy Phill, the other Randy Phill's listening to this, I'll buy Twitter off you, mate.
You get your pint.
I'll just I'll at him.
Is it at Randy Phill? What's going on, mate? Gee's your Twitter handle.
Geez the addy.
So what are you playing on Twitch?
I'm working through Cyberpunk now. Finally,
Cool.
I'm working on the Street Kid background. What one did
Yeah.
you go for when you started it off?
Street Kid. I went Street Kid as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
My first one was Nomad. Then I tried the crypto one. So now I'm working on Street Kid. I'm putting that through Twitch, but also I'm uploading it all to YouTube. If you want to find the backlog of it all, whenever Twitch fucks it off in 14 days.
Nice. So what's your YouTube then? Randy Phill.
I think that's Randy Phill, but I don't know how many Y's, but it's always 2 L's.
It's always 2 L's, and
Always
you've
2 L's.
just got to keep pressing Y until you get them.